Good evening. Welcome to Military Strategies. We are live right now, May 28, 2026, and things are happening right now in the Strait of Hormuz because Iran is attacking warships in the United States of America. And also, at the same time this is happening, there are attacks in Gaza, attacks in Lebanon, and Donald J. Trump, who has made the key statement about whether there will be an agreement or not with Iran to end this war. Family, your likes and comments are super important. This is Military Strategies. Let's get started. Good evening, family. Welcome on Military Strategies. For the second consecutive night, Iran is once again attacking United States ships in the Strait of Hormuz. It's happening again. The regime is desperate. They're throwing whatever they have, whatever they can, anti-ship missiles against advanced warships, like an Arleigh Burke-class destroyer. It's absolute madness. Right now, military operations are taking place as we speak in the Strait of Hormuz. But they're also happening in Gaza. Ibn Netanyahu has said, we have 60% of the Gaza Strip, and we want 70%. Are you hearing this? Israel is going to conquer up to 70% of the Gaza Strip. And also, in Lebanon, the bombings continue in the southern sector of the front with Hezbollah. All of this is happening right now, while Donald J. Trump is already making statements on the other side of the ocean over there. Fordow is already speaking. He's already saying things. We'll see him soon on Fox News. But this is also remarkable. Has it? Pete arrives in Singapore. Why Singapore? What's in Singapore? What's going on over there? There's a place on Earth called the Strait of Malacca. Oil tankers must pass through there regardless. The Secretary of War is there in Singapore. We don't know how many days he'll be there or how many hours he'll stay. My prediction is that if they're going to attack before the World Cup, it has to be this weekend. If they're not going to attack before the World Cup, it won't be this weekend, and it'll be after the World Cup. I've been talking to you there on Judy Historia with my brother Ariel Kanieski, who's watching us from bed. Greetings, Ariel, to you and to Taco. Thank you. Things are really bad. Horrible. Iran opens fire in the Strait of Hormuz against the United States. Contra. According to the information we are receiving right now, anti-ship missiles have been launched against United States ships. And this is Iran right now. A real crowd of people calling for attacks on the United States of America and Israel. People demanding blood from Mokshaba. It's not all Iranians, of course. It's the fanatics. The fanatics. There's one thing we need to be clear about in this whole story. It's one of those flashes I had tonight when we had a different show prepared. We're going to discuss the UN, and we'll now mention what happened at the United Nations. And ties have been severed with the office of the UN Secretary General, Guterres. There's no more communication. They've thrown the phone in the trash or down the toilet. Donald Trump says he has militarily defeated Iran. Let's listen to him.
that they would cross for you to go on.
Negotiators there are crafty.
They are very good negotiators. Hey.
But in the end, we have all the cards.
Defeated them militarily.
Because we've defeated them militarily.
What else? There is one thing that either his advisors haven't told Donald J. Trump or no one has explained to him. You can defeat Iran economically. You can defeat it militarily. But the most important defeat, thank you, is the ideological one. And that one hasn't been achieved. The level of radicalism, the level of violence, of jihadist ideology is still there. It hasn't gone away. It hasn't. They took to the streets in January to protest. 50,000 dead. Then this happened.
The Trump administration.
Then came the nights that lit up. The anti-aircraft fire since February 28th, it wasn't enough to bring down the regime in Iran. It wasn't enough. Much more was needed. And it didn't come. The ideology of this violent jihadist regime does not end. It has not been defeated. And it's still there. And as long as that's still there, Donald Trump doesn't hold all the cards. He has one. Militarily, this could inflict serious military damage. Just that one. But it can really do little or nothing to him. What can we expect tonight from those attacks in the Strait of Hormuz? Surely a restrained response from the United States of America. One where they are not going to escalate. They don't intend to escalate, and neither does Iran. It isn't in their interest. Iran is making rockets and drones. It's not in their interest right now. Until they regain all capabilities before February 28th. They'll be ready and start firing again. There's another detail that's very interesting in this story. Very, very interesting. That preparation by Iran. Pay attention to the video. We are live right now, family. We're missing a lot of likes. Right now, we need a lot of likes to support this channel that's being targeted for censorship. And also a lot of comments. We also have super chats open in case you like the content we make every day. Very important. Let's review this.
بعضی از بچه‌ها که ما خودمون اینجا کار می‌کردیم غذا حتی نمی‌خوردن به خاطر اون گرمای زیادی که بدنشون تحمل کرده بود. فقط انتظار داشتن آب خنکی چیزی به اونا برسیم که حالت تمایل بدنشون میاد پایین.
You should know that some of the kids.
Dear Shalai Merks, in the middle, out in the open field, missile launchers ready. I have a gift for the idea. Attention. Where is this place? Iran. Here it is. Near Qom. Not far from Fordow. Let's go down. You haven't seen this yet. This one is new. Let's see who wants to jump off the cliff. Let's see if that place is the same place we're talking about. Could it be the same place? Let's see. If we look at the video, what we're seeing here. Look, we see some missile launchers at the top. We see that there's a line. There's the line. Here, a launcher would be in this spot. In this other one, there's another missile launcher. Right on the back line. There are some guys up on this hill. And inside here, there's another missile launcher. There's a car here. Here's the launcher. There's this semicircle we can see here. And the other launcher here. Awesome. But what else is around here? It seems to us isolated, doesn't it? Well, no, my friends. Another base belonging to these crazy lunatics in the middle of the desert. In here you can see it. The air defense positions, very well protected. Super well protected too. Sorry if I remembered that song, which wasn't the right one. It's caught my attention. I didn't have this place on my radar. I didn't have it on my radar. This is new. Let's see what's there. A defense post. It looks more like a water well, because you can see a pipe here. Se electriciza, generation of hydrocarbons, electricity. This installation is really strange. We had never seen it. We'd never covered it before. We're investigating live right now what this is that Iran wanted to show us, what it means so close to Fordow. Well. Look at this. Bunkers. Huge. A kind of refinery. This is the entrance to the facility. And the missiles were here. We didn't have this place on our radar. We didn't have this one on our radar in any way. Well, if Israel takes note, they probably already know it. And this is super strange. Super strange. It's clear. They've been using chemical products or something like that. I don't really understand why Iran wants to show us this facility when they have 20,000 more, and they wanted to show us this one. What are they hiding here? All this disturbed earth means there's underground construction. It's huge. Just to give us an idea, this story begins from much farther away. And in terms of distance, this place is right next to Fordow. It's practically, I'm serious, it's very close. Very close to Fordow. Fordow was right back here. This area we see around here. And this is here. This is very suspicious. Why did Iran want to show us this video? What's the point? What for? What's the purpose? Such a low-profile facility. Look over there. There are entrances to tunnels. This could indicate that we are facing some kind of hidden facility that we didn't know about, or one we lacked full information about, but that may relate to the nuclear program. There are many strange things here. Many buildings. None of these were attacked. Because this image is from, well, this is from January 2025. The 12-day war hadn't happened yet. But you can clearly see there's a lot of construction material here. Strange. Very, very strange, this whole story. And what Iran is showing, we're seeing it right there. They still have missiles. The ones we're seeing are the Khaybar Seka, capable of reaching Israel. That's how things are. Thank you. Incredible. But anyway, it's already geolocated. That's it. Anyone who wants to see it should look for it. The UN. What's going on with the UN? But before we look at the UN, please, friends from Spain, fellow Spaniards, listen. There is a message for you.
Breaking news, because at least 10 people are being held in several Spanish provinces in a major operation against jihadism. Let's go to the newsroom. Raul Zaragoza, what do we know, Zaragoza? What do we know so far?
As you said, Christina, according to the information obtained by Spanish radio and television, the national police have reportedly arrested 10 people in a major operation against jihadist terrorism that has taken place in Alicante, Malaga, Murcia, Madrid and Barcelona. According to police sources, the detainees will appear before the National Court this Friday. And the actions are based on an ongoing investigation, so further actions in the coming hours are not ruled out. Let's remember that since 2015, Spain has remained at level 4 of the anti-terrorist alert, which is the second highest level.
And now what? Ten jihadists arrested in Spain in an operation in several major cities: Madrid, Barcelona, Malaga, and Murcia. At any moment, something is going to happen. How many more are there that we don't know about? How many more are there that the police can't arrest because they don't have enough evidence? How many? Why does Spain's government keep supporting these people? Why? Why doesn't the government of Spain join forces with the only one who puts a stop to jihadism? Because of this whole game. What is this whole macabre game? What's all this? What's this? We want to see the streets of Madrid, Barcelona, Valencia, Malaga. We want to see them turned into things like this, which we're going to see now. In other lugar. Lebanon was a place. What was it? Envied in Europe. Envied. Beirut was the pearl of the Mediterranean. The Gulf monarchies used to go to Beirut to ask for money from Lebanese princes. What you're hearing. But then these guys showed up, the ones with the yellow flags, and they destroyed all of them. We want to see Spain turned into this. Why not think so? They say that the land of Al-Andalus must be recovered. What reason is there to think otherwise? It doesn't make much sense. Congratulations to the National Police and the Civil Guard for the great work they do against jihadism in Spain. Thank you very much for taking care of all of us. Thank you for being there, for existing. But it's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough with a president like this. By the way, I think he's going to run for president of the United Nations. That's his way out. Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, the government of Spain made a commitment, and I personally, since October 2023, which is the date of the beginning of Israel's invasion of Africa.
No, on October 7th, Israel never invaded. Israel did not invade Gaza until October 21st. He is mentally inept. He doesn't even know that. I will never forget it. Israel did not invade Gaza on October 7th. But for him, yes. To him, October 7th means Gaza was invaded. What's going on over there? What's happening? Who? The United Nations has a list. Everyone has a list where they add groups that commit sexual crimes, for using sexual violence in conflict zones. What you are hearing. But instead of me explaining it, Israel's ambassador to the United Nations, Dani Dano, will explain it. What has the UN done? A UN that took 2 years to acknowledge that there was sexual violence on October 7, and afterwards to the victims in Israel and to the kidnapped men and women.
The decision to block Israel and accuse us of using sexual violence as a weapon of war.
They have accused Israel of using sexual violence as a weapon of war.
It is a decision. The Secretary General and his team.
The Secretary General and his team continue
to spread lies.
Spreading lies. Spreading lies. No says here.
The Secretary is a Hamas terrorist on the same list. That's unacceptable. We are a democracy.
They've put Israel on the same list as Hamas.
We have invited the representative of the UN to come to Israel.
We have invited the representatives of the UN to come to Israel.
To look into those ridiculous allegations.
To check those ridiculous allegations.
They decided not to come.
They decided not to come.
They chose to continue.
They have decided to continue with the campaign against Israel.
We saw the lies in the New York Times.
We have seen the lies in the New York Times, and now we see another lie coming from the UN.
And now we see another lie.
Coming from the United Nations.
We are done with this Secretary General.
We're done with this Secretary General. This is an incredible thing. It's an incredible thing. When we have heard allegations that humanitarian organizations use food aid to obtain sexual favors inside Gaza. This is an incredible thing.
It's not that it is.
Something horrible. It's that they're putting Israel in the same window, in the same chair, as those who went to massacre Jews on October 7th. For a while, UNICEF, and all this misfortune international, they stay silent and they look the other way. When in their schools, in the schools of Gaza, in all those places, the children, the young people, they dedicate themselves to parading around with rifles. That's childhood. That's what it leaves us. The United Nations, thank you. For years. There have been hostages inside Gaza, women being sexually abused. The United Nations initially said evidence was insufficient. This is the future for Palestinians. This is the tragedy. They haven't known how to protect children or properly manage donation investments. They haven't known how to take care of anything. They haven't known how to take care of anything. The only thing they've known is to fill themselves up, their pockets with money, fly on luxury planes, sleep in luxury hotels, and eat in luxury restaurants, besides wearing luxury clothes. The United Nations repeatedly, knowingly, because Israel has made that clear to them, Israel, on numerous occasions, they've allowed it in their vehicles, in their facilities. Weapons were hidden, rockets, explosives, and kidnapped. And I'm not the one saying it. That's what the kidnapped people are saying. They were kept in a school in Umbra where we can see them. He made the massive ones. They haven't realized it. Trusting the UN. And this is not a lie, nor anything that can be refuted. There is the evidence. Calumnias. In these almost 3 years that we've been reporting this, no one has come to refute us or accuse us of slander. Because the evidence is right there. The images don't lie. There are members who were paid by Hamas. We've seen the books of what was in the UNRWA schools. The books were scary. We saw what was happening in the summer camps. Organizaciones, Islamic humanitarian organizations, you'll see it in this video, that collect money in countries in Europe and the United States. There's the logo. I'm not going to hide. There it is. It's right there, UNRWA, which works with organizations like the one you're seeing there. Inside, drones were being built. Name. This was the DIY workshop of one of UNRWA's schools. The United Nations did not demand anything from anyone. Not the Red Cross, not UNRWA, and not anyone else to check on how the kidnapped people were doing in the tunnels. Not even once did they receive medical assistance. Not even once. However, relations between the organization and the other organization are close. Very close. All of this inside United Nations warehouses, United Nations facilities. And that is the UN's legacy in Gaza. In Gaza, so that people find out. In February 2024, Israel found this. What you're about to see now. In January 2024, United Nations headquarters. Right down there, there's a tunnel. And where does the tunnel go? Well, the tunnel goes inside. Underneath the UNRWA facility. All those cables you see are part of the Hamas intelligence unit complex. They had solar electricity from solar panels that were on the roof of the UNRWA facility. Let electricity enter the tunnel to provide power to Hamas's computer servers. There are the images. The cables were run through those holes. Those are the servers. They had air conditioning since it got hot. So my question is, who should be added to a blacklist? Israel or the United Nations? Israel has been too soft on this matter. Too soft. Israel should have taken much more drastic measures against the United Nations and its work in Gaza. But make no mistake. Make no mistake. I'm going to show you something. They might say this is a video that was created by Israel. Oh. It can be defended. You can't defend what you'll see next. Let's go back to the past. Year 2022, 22. The Gaza Strip, here. This building, you see that looks like a five-star hotel, is the place where all the bloodsuckers from the United Nations used to spend their vacations in the Gaza Strip. In one of the coolest places, with a heated pool, wouldn't want to get cold. We can see they put up an awning for him to keep it climate controlled. Wouldn't want him to get cold. The poor guys from the United Nations, for years, that place you're seeing used to host all the United Nations leaders who arrived and passed through there, where there were parties of all kinds. And that's as far as we're going to go. But that's not the worst part. But that's not the worst part. That's not the worst part. The worst part is that 50 meters from this place, there was a terrorist training camp. What you see here was built to recreate the kibbutzim around the Gaza Strip with elite units of the Nukba force to assault and massacre the people of Israel. To assault and massacre the people of Israel on October 7th. What you are seeing here is a training camp next to the main United Nations hotel in Gaza. This whole block we see here, everything we see here is part of the Hamas compound and the Nukba. Their headquarters, to be more exact, was this. That's what you're seeing there in the frame. In this neighborhood, Sinwar's sister had a luxury house.
Thank you.
This was Nukva's neighborhood, next to the United Nations. You can see it already. Restaurants, brightly lit and bustling. But we don't stop there. We're going to head south. The place Kamala Harris said Israel couldn't enter because the numbers didn't add up for them, because they didn't know where they were going to put all those people. Thank you. In the year 2000, in 28, a certain Lazzarini, director of UNRWA, inaugurates the most important logistics center in the Gaza Strip. The one we're seeing here, the warehouses where they were going to concentrate all the humanitarian aid coming in from all over the world for the poor Gaza Strip. You already know that in those trucks that were coming in through the Rafah crossing, they were hiding things that weren't exactly legal. We've seen it on video. All of that ended up here. to this place. Thank you. You're seeing this, right? This place has been destroyed. The image isn't updated yet, but this place is destroyed. Hasn't Israel destroyed it? No. The place we're looking at is called Ben Yassam. It was a place where, before Israel withdrew, there was a village, a Jewish settlement in this place, in this area. When Israel left, they left everything behind and gave it to the people of Gaza. What did the people of Gaza do? What did they build? Here. You can see it here. They were building. At that time, the United Nations was building the warehouse underneath this warehouse, among other things that have been found. There is the largest tunnel of Islamic Jihad with the biggest missile factory in Gaza underneath this site. You might say I'm making this up since the tunnel hasn't been seen, or can it be seen? Don't worry. Pay attention to this. You're going to like it. October 7th, 2023, 7 in the morning. Aquí. From this place, the paramotors take off for the Nova Festival. This is the takeoff runway here in this place. What we're seeing here is the takeoff runway for the paramotors on October 7th. Inside the same plot where the UN warehouse is located. In the same UN plot, they were practicing this for months. All of it. Building villages to then raid them and practice kidnapping people and taking them to Israel. Take Gaza away. Sorry. They had training camps in these places. This is what we're seeing around here. Shooting ranges to practice assaulting the position. In fact, they had it so well planned inside the UNRWA facilities, which belongs to the United Nations, that they had even built models of Merkava tanks. What you're seeing there is not a tank. It's a model of an Israeli tank. They had even built an obstacle course to be in top shape on October 7th. Israel, they had built a replica of a guard post on Israel's wall. What you're seeing there are huge slabs replicating the wall. They had built it there, and they had also built it somewhere else. In this area that you're going to see here. In this place, they built a wall similar to the one in Israel, the one in the northern area, the one in Beit Kanu, to check how much explosive they needed to bring it down. And all of this. "600 meters away, 100 meters from the United Nations. In fact, the terrorists had to enter through the same area where the central headquarters of the USSR was located to access the place. Nothing more, nothing less. Thank you. But now the UN comes along telling us that Israel commits sexual war crimes. When we did this show 2.5 years ago, they censored it. They also took it down. They took it down. There was a huge argument with the platform. Then they made up. They said it's just impossible to hide it. You can't hide this. You can't hide it. But of course, there we have the story of the United Nations. What is the United Nations? What does the United Nations mean? Knowledge. How is it possible that there are tunnels and arsenals under all the hospitals? How is all this possible? There's only one explanation. Someone allowed it. Someone allowed it. That's right. That's why the United Nations is now talking to us about morality, about human rights, to talk to us about this whole story. We have to remind them of this. But they understand it clearly. Not sure what you all think in the chat family after seeing these images. Every time I remember them, my stomach turns. About everything that happened. It's very, very, very hard. Let's get to the super chats. Let's get to the community comments. Thank you so much for collaborating with us. Vito Virginia, thank you so much. Welcome. Nilo Rojas, thank you so much, my friend. 10 likes, friends, and I'll gift memberships. Well, you know, leave likes because Vito is going to gift memberships. Nilo, thank you so much, my friend, for those super chats. Let's see, we have a bunch of messages here. Cesar, thank you so much for those 2 generous super chats Cesar gave us tonight. Ibis, thank you so much for those messages. Domingo, greetings, my friend. How are you? Elena, thank you so much. Benny Martin, Military Strategies, I love you, man. Be patient. I am being patient. The thing is, sometimes this doesn't... It's just that you can't be patient. When you see these kinds of things, and they want to sell it to you, and they want to sell the world a completely different story, you can't just stay on the sidelines. You have to... This isn't about being impartial or not. It's about being fair. No, you can't. You can't change it. Domingo, thanks. Welcome. Strategy, my channel supports you. Please stay. Shalom. Thank you so much, Jesse, for the super chat. Every bit helps. David Luna, Military Strategies. Thank you for your reports. Thank you all for putting up with me. Greetings, nothing yet. Our president keeps us in suspense. These people don't understand business and are just bad. That's right. Trump will attack Iran. But he's focusing on the midterm elections. By the way, the candidates who have supported him are winning. Nando. I don't think he's too worried about the midterms. I don't think so. In fact, I think he needs to present a victory. No, because if Donald Trump leaves now, it will be seen as a defeat. Then the midterm elections will go badly. I think that's where another key to this lies as well. Thank you, Maria Jose, for those 5 memberships. Gaston, greetings. Shalom. Welcome. Thank you very much, family. Thank you too, since you are part of this family. I'm Andalusian, and this issue scares me as an Andalusian. I'll just shout, 10 jihadists were arrested today. How many more? None. Ana Belen, thanks for saying what others won't. That's it. The struggle. That's why we live in the shadows. To fight for the light. That's what I always say. We fight in the shadows, in the darkness, for the light. Manuel, I spoke with someone from Iran today. How did it go? What did they say? Things are really bad over there. Terrible. Very, very, very ugly. Now director of UNRWA was formerly director of the Red Cross. The Red Cross director was previously the UNRWA director. They keep switching positions, so you understand. And, oh, God, how long will we have to deal with all these incompetent people like Peter Sanchez? We don't know, but he's going to stay. Thank you so much, Abraham. Too late. The United Nations has replaced its philosophy with a deceitful ideology. The United Nations was created so that what happened in World War II would not happen again. And look, Juan, greetings to Estrategias. They haven't just failed to prevent it, They've encouraged it. 56 Mari, thank you very much. Thank you. That's what's there. It's a hotbed, an organization dedicated to singling out Israel. That Israel is the country with the most Security Council resolutions against them. Thank you, but it's amazing. We have breaking news. Breaking news right now. Breaking news right now, family. Pay attention to this. Speak of the devil. Look who just walked in. (11:52, 28 from May 2026. We're missing a lot of likes. Images right now. Gaza. Cliffs. Canyons. Vivi wants 70% of Gaza, and she's gonna get it. Images right now from Khan Yunis. Israel is out of control in Gaza. Since it's not part of the agreement. There's something curious here. And now that I'm looking at the pipe there, I'm seeing a pipe there. Another day I'll show you a video about how Hamas removed the pipes that Israel left for the sanitation system, drinking water, and all the civil infrastructure to turn them into rockets. But I'll show that another day. We've had enough for today with this matter. The hose broke. Oh my God. The hose broke. Poor Gazan firefighter. Family, have a very good night. May God bless you. And to those of you who are from Israel, 5 minutes. Shabbat Shalom. Rest well. Greetings.